Hey friends, and welcome back to my channel. I have not done a sit down video in a long time, so I thought I'll clean my room, I'll make my hair look nice, and I'll sit down and talk to you about what's in my zero waste bag. I saw that Shell Bizzle did one recently and I thought, I haven't done one in a very long time, and you guys have been really enjoying my daily habits and weekly habits and monthly habit videos, and if you haven't seen them, I'll put them down below. So I thought, what a great way to continue that kind of series by talking about what's in my bag that I use on a daily basis, especially now that things are opening up and I'm actually leaving the house a little bit more and going for things like grocery shopping and trying to do that as low waste as possible. So if you like this kind of videos, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe so that you never miss another video, and hit that notification bell because it really helps my channel. So if you're wondering, I still use my black grin bag that I got several years ago. It's made from upcycled materials like sails and things like that, and they're a small company based in Denmark, which is why I love to talk about them, and I just love their bags. They really have stood the test of time, and the only time when I broke the zip on one of my other bags, which is a bigger, more weekend style bag, I sent it back and they fixed that for me and sent it back. So I love a company that cares about recycled materials, that cares about the planet, and also cares about helping you get the most value out of your bag by repairing it rather than replacing it. I finally moved to the Compostable phone case club. Okay, the last phone case I had I wanted to use until it was broken, and it finally cracked and was no longer usable, so I finally switched to a peeler case, which is a home compostable case. I was completely influenced by Shell B. Who's surprised by that? Put your hand up. Probably not me. And they're also sponsoring today's video, so I want to say a massive thank you to them. I absolutely love my phone case, and when I mentioned it on Instagram a couple of weeks ago, I got so many positive reviews from you guys saying that you'd had it for, 2-3 years and it was still holding up really strong. I also love the way that it feels. It feels very soft, but also not so soft that I think it's going to be breakable. So if you're interested in getting your own peeler case, you can use the discount code IMI for 25% off. Just check out the link in the description. Okay, if like me, you're a coffee drinker or a tea drinker, then you probably have one of these in your bag, but it might look slightly different depending on what you use it for. Now, I haven't been able to use this recently because during this time, my local coffee shop hasn't been accepting reusables, and of course it's going to be different whether you're in the UK, which area you're in, as to who takes them or not. But luckily they have started taking these again, so this coffee cup has very much been a part of my bag stuff. Words in me, words, always use words. If you watched my are these zero waste items really worth it kind of videos, or my thoughts on zero waste items I bought, I did talk about this coffee cup in particular, saying how because it doesn't close fully, this is not the ideal one if you're someone who likes to make your coffee or your tea and put it in your bag to have later, maybe at work, at a picnic, wherever you're going. So this is very much a go to a coffee shop, have your coffee made, and then you carry it. If you want to hear more in depth about this coffee cup, I will leave that down below, but this is the one that I have. This is the one that I'm going to continue to use. At least it is bomb proof, which my last one was not, and I smashed that one. So, and I do like the design, it's a nice size. So that's my coffee cup. The next thing, now that it is summer, are some sunglasses. If you follow me on Instagram, you'll know that I lost my sunglasses about 2 years ago when my boyfriend and I went hiking in Wales. It was a sad time, and I haven't replaced them because I couldn't find one secondhand that I particularly wanted. I couldn't find, these are called Ochis or Ochis, I'm not quite sure, and they're made out of actually wasted coffee grounds. They're a very small company in Europe, and I personally just really love them. I really love the shape. I really love the fact that it actually smells a little bit of coffee, and you have different types of lenses that you can choose from. That's it. The next thing is I use my reusable pencil and my reusable pen as well. I've had this pencil for literally years. When I did a back to school video, must be about 3 years ago, I mentioned this pencil and I actually still use it, and I use it personally myself even though I am not at school or university. I find that pencils can sometimes just be nicer because you can rub it out, but also it's just a bit lighter, and I personally am a big fan of my reusable or refillable propelling pencil. This one in particular, don't know if I recommend it because, to be honest, I think all propelling pencils are pretty similar. This one just looks more sustainable because it has wood on the outside, but that doesn't necessarily mean that it is more sustainable. I absolutely love my gold pen. I told you about this guy ages ago. I bought it 2 years ago at New Year's Eve because I wanted to, I don't know, treat myself for reaching a target in work and trying to work really hard, and I still love that pen. Just the irony that I bought it for a successful 2020 and then look what happened. But at least I've used it over the last 6 months to start journaling every single day, and it has had a massive impact in that way in my life. So I'm very attached to my pen and my pencil because they enable me to do a lot of things, and that's why I have them in my everyday bag. Which kind of leads me on to my journal, which I still have. If you guys know, if you know, you know. I wrote Imi's ideas on the front, making it look really ugly, and I still haven't done anything about it. However, I am going to put something over the top. You guys gave me such good ideas. You're all so creative. And that's what I love about this community and what I love about you guys. You have such brilliant ideas. I just haven't done it yet. So I'm going to do that. But this is my ideas and my work notebook journal where I write everything down, where I'm planning for a video, anything that I need to do, because if you're a patron of mine, you know that I'm very disorganized and I'm trying to work on that. And this is one way of trying to do that, especially carrying it with me every single day. Now, this is not the most sustainable option. I just chose this one because I had it, I've literally had it. If you go back to the beginning of this notebook, you'll see that I've written the date from like 2019, 2018. Yeah, I've had this for too long. And what I like to do is go back through my drawers and basically find notebooks that I have used half of or quarter of and use them completely up before I even think about getting a new journal. That's what I started doing recently, and it's finally made me stop buying new journals because they're nice and finish the ones I actually have. I don't know if you're a fan of lip balm, but I recently have become quite the fan. I didn't realise how dehydrated my lips were and how sort of thin it made them look because they were so dehydrated, and so I've been using a lip balm. I use the Etique one. You probably heard of them. They only recently came out with this, and I did work with them on Instagram, so they did send these to me, just a disclaimer, but this is obviously not, this is not sponsored, but I genuinely love them, so I wanted to mention them. I have 5 different ones, but I use these 2 in particular most of the time. One's a kind of peppermint cooling one, and one's a sort of cocoa butter one. And yeah, I just have these in my bag every day, and they are fully plastic free, they're home compostable, all the kind of good stuff where we are trying to be less plastic fueled for Plastic Free July. And while some of you may not really agree with Plastic Free July, I personally think it's a really great vehicle for simply exposing ourselves to a different perspective on waste. And then if we think about our own waste, then we can think about why these companies are creating so much waste and why our governments are allowing them to have such lax regulations. And then we can think about where does our waste actually go and how is that impacting people on the front lines of the waste pandemic. So I really do truly believe that thinking about small things like plastic waste that we can personally have an impact on could be a really wonderful vehicle for thinking much more broadly about climate change, the waste pandemic, those most affected, and how our government are doing the world a disservice by not putting strong regulations on these companies that create lots of virgin plastic, that don't recycle it properly, that don't do all of these things that make a lot of other people suffer. So yeah, that's why I'm a big proponent of Plastic Free July. I think it's a great vehicle for a broader thing. Anyway, that is all to say I love these lip balms and I use them every single day. Which leads me on to my Monster water bottle. Again, I talked about this recently. I think I talked about this in one of the 10 best purchases I've made, I think. Or I talked about it in my thoughts on zero waste items that I've bought, because I've had single walled, I've had smaller bottles, and this is my favourite one. It's a double walled Clean Canteen. I like Clean Canteen because they are a B Corp, and they also really try to drum home the message, only use what you need, only buy what you need, and reuse as much as possible. This, I love a 32-ounce bottle. It makes me drink a lot more, and also this is enough water for me for the majority of the day if I do go out, and I just really like it. In fact, I like it so much that when my boyfriend's broke, I replaced his with exactly the same one. Anyway, you probably heard me talk about water bottles a million times, so let's just move on. Now, unfortunately, I just finished my sun cream, but of course it is the summer, and even when it's not the summer, we should be wearing sun cream on our faces to protect our skin. I'm going through quite a big phase at the moment where I'm trying out different skincare to find the one that works for me, that also aligns with my values, and the same goes for sun cream. I want something that's reef friendly, that's eco-friendly, that can be fully recycled if it doesn't come in, you know, eco-friendly packaging, all that kind of stuff. So there are lots of things to consider, and if you don't follow Demi Clean on Instagram, she's one of my favorites who talks about sun cream all the time, so I would highly recommend her. Of course, people like Hiram talk about sun cream, so there are lots of things to choose from. I just need to replace mine. Another thing is I always carry a book, because you never know. You never know if you're going to be waiting for someone. And I don't want to always be thinking, I'm going to go on my phone because I'm bored. I don't want to stand here on my own because I'm bored. So I always bring a book with me now. I'm currently reading Camilla Shamsi, Home Fire. I mentioned this like a few months ago, but it's taken me a while to get through this pile here. And yeah, I've only just started it, so I'm excited to explore this. One more thing that you may or may not be interested in that I thought I would just add in is I bought my vlog camera secondhand. It's a DJI gimbal thing. It's so small, and the reason why I wanted this is because it's so little that it's less embarrassing to film in public, because I get quite embarrassed about filming in public. So I got this tiny little one just to make it slightly easier so I could get more interesting content for you guys. And then the last thing is my purse, but I bought it from a local market, from a local artisan about 4 years ago. I'm not the kind of person that cares about having a really beautiful purse, because it literally just holds my cards, and that is it. I guess the only thing you could talk about is your cards. I've switched banks recently. I was on the kind of Monzo Starling ones, and now I'm moving to Triodos because they're sort of 100% ethical and you can count on them not having money in arms and fossil fuels and gambling and tobacco and all that kind of stuff. If you haven't seen my banking video, I will link it down below. You guys should definitely check that out. But there are lots of other options, so definitely think about your bank, think about your pension, and think about where you're putting your money, because our money is used in very unethical ways. Anyway, I'm sure you've had enough about looking at what I've put in my bag, so we're going to go shopping and buy some zero waste grocery stuff, and we will get to the haul after this. Okay, so I just got back from the zero waste grocery store, the one that's nearest to me. Whenever I go there, I only try to do like a minimal haul. I just try to get the things that I actually need, obviously. So I'm just going to show you those things, and I'm going to talk you through what I do. I just wanted to show you two really exciting things before we get to the haul. We finally have some Scotch bonnets that are growing. The other exciting thing I wanted to show you is my bike. I've had this bike for 7 years. I got it third hand, and I basically every year I replace only the things that absolutely need to be replaced just to keep it in good form. And I wanted to give it a little different look, spice it up a little bit, and I've never changed the bar tape, so I finally changed this so it looks a bit like a different bike, and it also makes it a little bit more visible. So we've got orange this, and I also finally got a bottle cage down here. I've never had one before, and considering I used to commute 8 miles to work and 8 miles back every day, I don't really understand how I didn't. Yeah, I just wanted to show you that fun thing because I am obsessed. I love my bike so much, and now I can go cycling again without that sound. It usually makes that sound when it's like like we're on countdown. It's not the best. Okay, so here's my very small zero waste grocery haul. I just wanted to show you a few of the things that I am eating at the moment now that it is very hot and it is summer. So I've exchanged things like porridge for muesli. I've also started to eat as many summer foods as possible. So I'm going to tell you what I got and what I'm going to make with them. So of course I bought a bunch of pasta. I love this pasta. It gives me that kind of, I don't know if it's the weird thing to say, but it gives you a nice mouth feel. And this is one of the ones I can get available unpackaged. I also got 2 cabbages because I'm going to make some more sauerkraut. I finally ran out of a sauerkraut I made a couple of months ago with garlic. And of course I bought some seeds to make sprouts. Yes, these came in packaging. I really do need to get a bigger bag of these in future. And I also replaced my soap. I just like to have some kind of soap bar that I can use to wash my body. I always find that unpackaged is just really easy to use. I don't have a refillable one near me, so I think this is the best one for me. I also got some beluga lentils. I find that these hold their shape really well when it comes to making salads and adding some protein into my plant-based diet. Plus I really love them. And I got some stuffed vine leaves. I'm not quite sure why I didn't show everything else, but I also got some Maris Piper potatoes, and I got some muesli as well. Thank you so much for watching today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm gonna start making much more zero waste or like sustainable content that I kind of used to make. I guess it's been hard to be able to go out and stuff because of the pandemic, so I feel like my content has changed quite a bit recently, and obviously I'm not going to be living here forever. Obviously I'm not going to be able to garden all the time, etc., so that's not going to be what I always do. But I just wanted to say thank you for your ongoing support. It really, really means a lot to me, and a huge shout out to my patrons. I really appreciate all your knowledge and wisdom and support in that way as well. So thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. If you want to support me a little bit more, give it a thumbs up and subscribe and hit that notification bell so you never miss another video. All right, see you on Sunday.